plastic on your dry cleaning, you have to let us know. It is true, though, especially with real estate, that there's no such thing as like a one-size-fits-all house or one-size-fits-all condo or city. And, we talk a lot about the core. We talk a lot about Seattle and Bellevue and these places that are really kind of the economic core. But a lot of people maybe don't want to live in Seattle or Bellevue. And there are some areas outside of those that are pretty robust. Cathy Santiago joins us, a broker with Windermere Real Estate, has been working in real estate for over 11 years with over 600 satisfied clients and is in the top 1% of real estate agents on the Eastside. Hello, Cathy. Welcome.
Hi there. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. How do you like your dry cleaning? Do you like the plastic or no plastic?
Well, thank goodness a lot of women's clothing now doesn't require dry cleaning, but I would say I'd like less plastic.
Less plastic. Yeah. All right. Save the earth. I'm into it.
Absolutely.
Well, Cathy, just this year, you've closed nearly 30 transactions, which is quite a few in any market, let alone a market like this. And, most of the work you're doing is not in the core of Seattle or the core of Bellevue, but you go out to like Sammamish in that area. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the Sammamish area.
Well, it's a great area to live. It is wonderful. It's parks, beautiful mountains surrounding, good schools. Offers a lot of people a lot of opportunity to live a really quality life. I work with a lot of buyers that start in relocation that start, on the east side in Mercer Island. Don't find what they want in a home because they're moving from California or Texas. They're used to big homes. And so they work their way to the east side. And then when they get to Sammamish, it's beautiful. And they can find homes that fit their needs and the community that really embraces them.
And it seems as if, when you start thinking about Sammamish, or any of those areas, they do tend to provide the bigger yards, the greener areas. It hasn't been... They haven't been, I don't know.
Family friendly, cul-de-sacs.
Cul-de-sacs, places for people to play. Also newer homes. Because Bellevue's wonderful, but there's a lot of older product in Bellevue. So if you want a newer home, 1995 and newer, there's a huge opportunity in Sammamish and Issaquah, Snoqualmie, those types of places so that you don't have to spend a lot of money remodeling. They're relatable homes. So that's also a benefit, living in Sammamish.
You do tend to get family buyers out there, don't you?
There's every kind of buyer out there.
Well,
there really is.
And I say out there, like it's not down the street.
It's about 7 minutes behind us.
No, it's so funny. Well, we were just talking about this because I'm a Bellevue agent. I have an office in Bellevue. And back in about 10 years ago when I started, everybody used to laugh and say to you, you live way out there on the hill.
Yeah.
But, honestly, it's not that far out. The commute is excellent on the 90, depending on when you go. And, with Snoqualmie Ridge out there and everything, Sammamish now seems pretty close. So
Absolutely.
It's a great place to live.
What is, so there are buyers out there of all sorts. Are there a lot of good homes? Is there the same inventory issues that everybody else is facing?
Certainly is. We have such low inventory. In January, the flip switched, and we just didn't have the sellers listing homes like we normally do. So we have about a 2.2 inventory, 2-month inventory all over the east side. It depends on the neighborhood, of course, you're in, but that's very low. 6 months and less is a seller's market. So there's very few, good homes that are priced right go immediately, sometimes with multiple offers. So it's really tough for buyers right now to find good homes.
And are there a lot of good homes out there? It would seem that it seems that the diversity of home would be less, right? You don't have a whole bunch of 1910 houses coupled with new ones.
Yeah, it's not as eclectic as Seattle and Bellevue. There's certainly more cookie cutter feeling homes because we have master plan communities, which again, you get such a great community when you're in a master plan community. You get pools like in Klahani, in Trossachs, you might get the neighborhood school, parks, local trails, but they are more cookie cutter for sure.
And so when people come and they look at these types of houses, I imagine when you think cookie cutter, and not these homes are really cookie cutter.
No, they're really gorgeous.
They're just gorgeous. they're just a little bit more similar.
Yeah.
Then you end up having buyers, and I would think that most buyers want that style of home.
Yes.
And when you have that buyers wanting that style of home, and there's not very many of them, then you really do kind of have this almost, frenzy, or, is it, how many people are out after the good homes when they come on the market?
Well, this time of year, we're having a little bit of more of a quiet time because it's August, but at the beginning of the year, I would list a home and literally have 17 people through, which may be common in Seattle, but for the East Side, that's quite a number. Huge open houses now, just tons of people through. So really, there's a lot of pent up demand. There's a lot of people renting, waiting for the bottom. And I think buyers now feel, I don't know if it is the bottom, but there are a lot of buyers that feel like they're more confident now to purchase with low inventory. Prices are so down, 2004 rollback in prices. So I think a lot of buyers have gained confidence with the low interest rates and that combined.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a big difference, too. It's the affordability of these houses with the low interest rates.
Yes. I mean, I had a lot of buyers last year actually take a loss on their house, their current house, and, willing to write a check, 50, 100,000 to move into a move-up home because it makes sense economically. It pencils. Those homes are down and interest rates are really low. So, yeah, it's a good time to buy.
When you talk about the multiple offers and the houses that are moving, I mentioned that it seems like they are a little bit more cookie cutter. Is there a type of home that seems to draw the most attention?
A home that is well priced and it has been, all the objections have been eliminated. So it's in good condition. You need to make sure you do that as a seller because even if it's a fast market, if your home is not shining and it looks as best as you possibly can make it affordably, which means roof care, all the things that buyers would object to, you will sit on the market. I mean, they will go over ahead and pass because people aren't really desperate. They want a good home and they don't want to overpay.
Yeah.
We're here with Cathy Santiago with the Windermere Real Estate. Cathy, being in the top 1% of real estate agents on the East Side certainly gives you a lot of insight as to what's going on. What type of houses do show well? I mean, what are some of those things? You talk about a roof. I mean, what are some of those things?
Getting over the objections, like you said.
Absolutely.
Getting rid of those. What are some of those objections?
Well, when I list a house, I spend a lot of time with the seller. So we go over a whole list of things that I know buyers are going to be wanting to see. And we try to do that as affordably. Some things make financial sense. Some things don't. What can we do to list your house to, the lowest cost to you with the biggest bang for the buck? So that's always painting, carpets, if that's necessary, the outside, making that look good. Mm-hmm. Roofs structurally need to be taken care of before you put it on the market. People in the East Side have a lot of cedar shake roofs. The newer construction doesn't, but those roofs need to be, cleaned and treated. They last about 18 years, so you have to take care of them and make sure that if you've got an older roof, if you can, get it certified by a good roofer for 5 years or more.
I mean, that's what you're buying, right, as a roof over your head?
Yes, it's really important. And costly to buyers if it's not working right.
Right, no kidding. So, Cathy, when you have buyers and you start looking at buyers and sellers trying to make these matches, do people tend to think that, this is a spike in the market that's here to stay? Are sellers thinking about, well, if I wait another 6 months, it might go up more? Is that what's really, is there just a big issue in buyers and sellers and what price people can come to right now?
Yeah, overpriced homes sit. And I have to say, it's a dialogue that happens with me every day. Where is this market going? And is this a spike? Is this a temporary little increase or what have you? And the answer is, it's really a hard answer because we don't know the future. It seems like the bottom to me, but you never know next year what that brings because it's a global world. We don't have a local world anymore. But I can tell you, Seattle, really is an amazing place economically compared to other parts of the country. So to me, it's a very strong market. It's always a good time here if you've got a bottom market like it seems to be now.
When you talk about Sammamish in particular, does that tend to trend with with Seattle? I mean, are you seeing the same things? We always talk about real estate having pockets, being so localized. Do you tend to think that Sammamish drives in the same way as the rest of the city?
It does. It's the further away from the hub you get, which is Bellevue on the east side, the softer the market gets in pricing as well, because it's that commuting time. But it certainly is a whole part of this east side, landscape that we're having with low inventory, lots of buyers wanting to live in all these communities. And so, yes, it's very similar.
Well, Cathy, good stuff, and thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
We don't get to talk about Sammamish every day,
We're not that far.
I know. I'll have to
it's
stop.
It's a good place to live.
I'll have to stop saying out there.
I know it.
When we come back, you can buy a lot of houses in Sammamish. You can buy houses all over the city. But have you thought about investing in real estate in today's market? We're going to talk about the financing side with Ryan Leopold when we come back. Well, you're listening to Brashing On It.